And every time we try to go behind the scene of what's trending or what's happening to discuss some of these issues, because one or two persons that might be listening might have experienced it. And recently there was one that happened, and we decided to talk about it. And we would like to talk about the hidden harassment female tenants face at the hands of their landlords. Female tenants, you see, you're a female, especially the unmarried ones, yes, because I doubt you have the audacity. But not to say some people no just get head, they still they even do them with married women, especially the ones that their husbands are not in the country. But today we're talking about, and that's why some houses, when you're going to rent a house, some people will tell you that they only want married people. Some people tell you they want this, it's certain conditions. So you all go to one room, that is your own. You don't have to answer to anybody. If you like, you come back. If you like, don't come back. Nobody will stress you. But today we'd like to talk about the hidden harassment that female tenants face at the hands of their landlords when having a roof comes with certain conditions, because it's expected that when you have shelter and you're paying for the shelter, you should at least be at peace. You still pay for housing, you still no go drink water drop cup. I remember some time ago a story trended about the tenants that said that the things in her house are all electrocuting her. If her body touches the fridge, it will shock her. If her body touches the table, it will shock her. And she has been telling the landlady said if she cannot deal with it, she should pack out. She now said no problem, as God will have it. One day the landlady was doing an event and her fridge got spoiled. She now volunteered her refrigerator.
I think I remember that
to come and pack all her drinks. And when the woman touched the thing, the woman went to heaven. The thing, yes, sir. She went to heaven and came back. No be person tell her, ma. She wake up after the thing that the jogidera to go and fix all those wiring, all those electrical kaya we did it. So you see sometimes. So Shebi will tell you, and you see a lot of people are guilty of that. Something will be happening to your house, you will not fix it, and we go they say they fix them, you will still be harassing somebody else. I remember I was staying at one of these houses over here. Water was coming out from the walls. Landlord oga, fix your plumbing now. He will not do it. He will still be increasing rents every year. Yet my clothes cannot stay in the wardrobe, because if it stays in the wardrobe, those water will soak it and make mold start growing on the clothes. You see all these conditions. Well, a lady posted a video. I think a Unilag female undergraduate posted a video about where the landlord was harassing her. So they were just having some altercation, and the landlord was quoted in the video saying, with 500,000 naira, I will just make you disappear. With 500,000 naira, your matter go just end. Nobody will even talk about you. So they were just having that exchange and all that. So apparently, according to the lady, she is rejecting the advances of the landlord. In the video, you could hear the lady saying, I don't have any business with old men. Have you seen yourself? So many things like that. And the man was saying the man was even going to hit her or something, but there was a guy that was holding the landlord back. But later Tina just telling us as she came in here that the lady actually said he actually even slapped her. And I'm just like, it's crazy. And this is the reason why most people they don't want to stay in the same houses as their landlord. Some people, if they're looking for a house, they will ask you if the landlord or the landlady is living in that building. If the landlord or the landlady is living in that building, they could just quickly relocate. They don't go take the house. It's because of all this unnecessary drama. So anyway, no long talk for evening mass. We're here now to talk about some of this harassment that female tenants face and what we can do as humans to be better. And also a message to the landlords. Remember, or else in the mpahabarego, because I believe that a landlord was once a tenant, or else the people that maybe they grew up into wealthy homes and they inherited houses from their parents, so they were never tenants. But regardless, tenants. So that's the issue. So you need to treat your tenants right. So if you're in a similar position, somebody can ask, well, treat you right. So welcome to Girls Aloud. Happy to say long story.
Long story, and you have already started giving landlords advice. Even before we started the discussion.
I don't already the advice. That's for you to see how the thing day my mind. Because they too do. If they're not telling you come back by 10, they're telling you not play loud music. Condition I carrier.
And some even tell you that you're not going to have a cooking gas cookers in their house, that you're going to still be using stove and all that because they don't want you to burn down their building. Are you serious? Yes. I feel that there was a time it trended now where the landlord has more than 10 rules that you have to be keeping once you are living in his compound. In front of all the doors, it was pasted there. You see the number 1, number 2, number 3, and you ask yourself, I paid you for this accommodation, right? And then I'm going to abide by all those rules.
These rules and regulations.
It is what it is. Just like Priska said, if you have your money, start saving now. Maybe to build, even if it's a boys' quarter, like one room for yourself, so that you're not getting harassed by any landlord or landlady. My name is Dimma Orangwa. Call me Hot Chocolate.
Okay, welcome to Girls Aloud. My name is Tina Enem. You can call me Madiogo.
All right, my name is Gift Francis. Welcome to Girls Aloud.
Okay, so going by what we saw, the video we saw of the harassment, most times I feel that this thing is happening because most of our landlords, our caretakers, our compound chairmen, agents, all those people that are involved in the process of you getting a house and of course, maintaining the house and all that. And they see women as weaker vessels, the people that they can just talk to anyhow. And that's why we keep having this issue. It's not as if that landlord or landladies that they don't have issues with male tenants. But when it comes to female, they'll feel like you have to do whatever it is that I said. You have to abide by certain rules and regulations. You don't talk when I talk. This is my property, this is my building. If you can't deal with it, you just pack out. I mean, they are just talking to women or ladies anyhow because they feel, well, there's nothing you can do. If you like, go back to your village, go and stay in your father's house and all that. And especially it comes with people that are not married, ladies that are still single. Because of course, if I'm with my husband, you will not be talking to me, you'll be talking to my husband directly, right? And then, or ladies whose husbands are not living with them in the same city. They feel that they can talk to you anyhow. And most of them will come with the fact that, okay, maybe I want to have something with you. They will start, trying to see if they can woo you and all that, chase you. But once you refuse, they will become so aggressive towards you. Yeah. So that's the reason why most of them do what they do nowadays. But we still have some ladies that are dick tigers. You won't even try anything with them. Once you are telling them what they will tell you, this, I have a right. This is my house, at least for now, because I paid the rent. So I have the right to do whatever I want to do. So far, I'm not doing anything that would be detrimental to the building or to myself or to you, the landlord. But there are rules. There are some rules you don't tell someone to keep. Okay, for example, you tell a lady that you should be back before 10 o'clock because we lock the gate by 10 o'clock. And you know that this particular woman or this particular lady, that she normally comes back early. Maybe something will happen that day and she goes, in fact, some people, they will not even they will not even talk to you. You will not tire. Yes. Especially when you don't have anybody, maybe any friend around. And once the landlord is leaving there and they'll be like, maybe she went there to go and see a man and all that. Go back to where you're coming from and stay there. So some of this, ill treatment against female tenants is something that we address, and it's something that we need to talk about because it's on the increase right now, okay? And for sometimes it's not just the landlord. Even landladies are very harsh towards their fellow women. Landladies that own houses, they are still harsh towards their fellow women, and they will give you how do I put it? If you're not married, or if you don't have a boyfriend, or if you don't have any male figure in your life, you are not supposed to live in my property. Who does that? Are they not human? Are they less human because they are single?
Okay.
This issue of harassment, especially when I was in school, my landlord almost harassed me. That was the thing is that why most times ladies fall victim for harassment, landlord harassing them, is because they give the landlord that opportunity, that privilege. because as a lady, as a female tenant, you don't allow there are some jokes you don't even joke with your landlord. Some female tenants, you will see them laughing, the way they laugh with their landlord. They even allow the landlord or caretaker to come into their room uninvited. All those kind of play will, it will make the person do to you whatever he wants to do to you. Like when I was in school, it's basically if I'm going to church, when I come back, I enter my room, I lock my door. If I'm going out, I lock my door, I go out. I don't have time to come and sit down and be discussing. My landlord does not even have right to enter my room, or my caretaker enter my room. But there was a certain day that he called me and he was asking me out. I told him straight up that I was going to tell his wife if he tries it again. So sometimes it's because, and that was how he stopped, because I threatened him that I was going to tell his wife. So sometimes it's because female tenant give landlord the privilege, or will I say the chance to, come into their room, even talk to them. There are some certain conversation. Once your landlord brings it up, you shun it. You tell them to stop it. And if you notice that your landlord is harassing you, it is better you even record it to get evidence, so that they can deny it at any time. You record it. Once you see that your landlord is that kind of person, once it's coming close to you, you want your recorder, you record whatever it's saying, then you follow it up, especially when the agreement is not am I going to say it? I don't want to be raw, but especially when the agreement is not your body for the house rent.
Okay. Yeah.
You make sure you don't even allow it. Don't allow it. And sometimes why most ladies fall victim is because the rent is cheap. Some persons go for maybe the rent is cheap and the landlord will now use that opportunity, or probably the landlord reduce the house rent so that they can take advance of the girl. So sometimes because of that too. And this old landlord wahala, it's just too much, especially when landlords start monitoring female tenants. Even the one that happened to us, our God, our door was bad.
I say you don't get
it. The experience. In fact, let me just share the one I had in school before our house in my state. This landlord, when my 300 level, I bargained with him. He said he was going to renovate a room. He was going to turn it to self-con. So we agreed. I paid him the money before my other house got expired. I paid him everything. Only for me to come back, he was still working on the house. Now gave me another room to stay, that once they are done, I will just move in. Okay, now he finished with the house. Okay, it's time for me to park in. He said that I cannot park him. As I've already paid, I've given him money. He said I cannot park him, that somebody has paid for the house. Like, it was funny. That means somebody came with a bigger amount and he accepted. Meanwhile, he has collected my money since how many months ago? So that was how I called church member, elders. They came and talked to me. He said, who am I going to call? I have to call my church elders to come and talk to me, because I didn't know who I'm going to run to. They came, they told me was like he was going to refund my money. I had to look. I looked for another house. I did not see, because it was a student environment. To see house at that particular period, it will be hard. There's a period whereby students look for house. Once that period pass, if you want to see house, you'll be seeing nonsense house. Like the location will not be secured.
Yeah.
So that was how I managed that room he gave to me. It was terrible, but I had to manage it.
So even after you called your elders in the
nothing
church,
happened. I did not do anything. The man used it.
Okay, there was something you said. You said that sometimes the reason for this harassment sometimes comes from the way the tenant relates with the landlord.
Yes.
But there's something I want to ask you. After your strict relationship with your landlord is always seeing you going to church. Your landlord say how the airport is check. Okay, anyway, that's by the way. But let me share my own experience.
Maybe that's not the major reason, but one of the reasons.
But sometimes that's not even the
she's
case.
not wrong.
Yeah.
Over familiarity breeds contempt.
But
Yeah,
that's how.
It's just one of the reasons.
Okay, so
It's one of the reasons now. You see, maybe he just came to try his luck.
He was a church girl.
and the church girl, that even have elders in the
If you
church.
like, squeeze your face like
I swear.
They won't talk to you.
I swear, that's what I want to say. That these landlords, people that are womanizers are womanizers, and most landlords, they don't even stay with their wives. You get? So maybe that's why it gives them that ample opportunity to do whatever thing they want to do. Because my own experience, like you have shared your own so far, is when I was 7 in Anambra here, Oko, precisely. Then I met this landlord, but the reason why I served my NYSC.
In Oko Poly or Oko?
Not
Oko Town.
Okay, you
Town,
said
yeah.
in Oko Town.
In Oko Town. Yeah. She didn't know what to do. Okay, now, but what happened? What happened was that when we came, the landlord was friendly because we are coppers. Okay, he was just nice. It seems like coppers always come, stays there all the time. Like
His house.
yes, in his house. It's like a quarter, okay, for coppers. So, but that's a very good place because it's very close to the school because I served in a school. So when we now got there now, the man now began to give us his own condition. His condition is that he told us that he's a very friendly person. He doesn't have any issue. That as you can see, he's not living with his wife, but he has his children. That he wouldn't want anybody to be bringing all these male folks, so that the children will not pick up from it and all of that. But even if he wants to bring, it should be only one particular person. That he maybe is somebody you are dating, and this is conversant with this person. That he wouldn't want to be seeing different faces because they might see one thing or the other in his profit. I didn't even say anything that he has. That he has a goal. He was just telling a lot of things, all the jamboree stories. At the end of the day, we then said okay. Then we moved in. For me, he came to me and was not like, hey, Copper, how are you now? I'm fine, sir. I want you to start taking my younger daughter, his last daughter, on a home lesson and all of that. And I said, okay, whenever you're ready, we'll talk about the price. Before you know it, he did not bring up the issue again. Then later on, sometimes he hosts, because we were like 3 ladies in that place, in his quarters. So sometimes he hosts maybe weekend like this. He said that he's friendly. On a normal basis, so he will host us. He might just buy drinks and all of that. Just like you said, sometimes when you're getting too familiar, it can actually lead to that though. So to make us comfortable as core members and all of that. But that's once in a while. Before you know it, he started making advances. He started with, just like the story of this that was put up online about from Very Dark Man. The lady said, I quote, that I think she had issue with her lights. So she has to go to her landlord's place to charge. That was where the first advances started coming from. And that was exactly what happened to me. Our light had issue. So when I now went there to charge, I was not telling him about our problems, our light issue, the toilet, and some other things that we were facing. The man was like, don't worry, I'm going to fix it. He was actually nice from the beginning. Then before you know it, the man now started teasing me, saying all sorts of things. I was like, immediately he said it, I shunned him, and I left. And that was the genesis of my problem. The man, from there, he became more strict. From there, he stopped talking to us. I didn't even know that this thing that he did, he has done it to the other 2 ladies also. Before you know, we are coppers. So some of our coppers stays in the school quarters. So they normally come, you know how coppers can be, they normally come. So once they come, he will start harassing them. What are you doing in this place? Don't know that this is female coppers, female quarters. I was like, which are these female quarters again? This one doesn't want to see anybody, if a male. Against what he told us before, you can't even dare. The day one of our core members, this thing now, she's married. Her fiancé came to visit her if you see harassment, the man was like, I'm going to shoot you, I'm going to do something. The guy was like, this is what he said. He said that whenever you have somebody, that they should even introduce the person to you so that you get familiar with those person. I told you from the beginning that this person is going to come and visit me. I said, cha, before you know it, the man turned to something else. He even calls the school to tell them that if you see what these girls have turned my house into, before you know it, it happened to me one day. About this tenancy, we have tenancy rights. We have rights to privacy. But do you know that one of these days, somebody came to visit me because he's a male call member. Immediately the person came. I didn't even know that the man was upstairs. Any of our call members that usually want to come to our place, they usually ask, is your landlord around? The man just barged in on me. I was so shocked. Like, the man was like, get out. Get out from this place. Do this. I'm going to bring my gun. I will do this. I will do that. He became so bitter and aggressive. The day that we went for our INEC training, and at the end of the day, we came back very late. I didn't even bother coming back because I know that he's a door. He's not going to open the door. I have to look for somewhere else. One of our core members distance. You can't sneak over. So we see that this issue that we are talking about is very vital. It's high time that if there's something like we call tenancy agreement, they should learn to stick to it. If it comes to the area of harassment, it has taken another new shape, especially when it's now going physical. You can see that particular video. I don't know whether if you watched it to the end. I watched it from Very Dark Man's. Very Dark Man even has to, immediately the video was flying all over the social media. Very Dark Man has to go by himself to go and investigate and hear from the horse's mouth. This girl said the landlord has even slapped her. It's not once, it's not twice. And sometimes in the middle of the night, he will come to the house, to this room, and began to knock. What do you want, Oga? Ever since she rejected his advancements, his advances, that's when the genesis of the whole problem started. Before you know it, he began to threaten her, I'm going to take you up from the surface of 500,000 naira, I can already cover everything. Jeez. So now, what the good thing that the girl did was that she reported to the police. So it's always when this kind of issue becomes wars of war, you gotta make reports, you gotta make your statements. Yeah,
exactly what I wanted to say, because sometimes when your life is being threatened, just like this girl's case, the best thing for you is to go and meet security agents and make a formal report. And then we know that in some places, they have all this vigilante that also guide the area on outside. Yes, so you can as well go to them and report them. And then if you have a legal practitioner that you're close to, you can as well take the case to the person. Because most time when they feel that you don't know your right as a tenant, they tend to treat you anyhow, and then of course harass you anyhow. But when you know your right, I'm not saying you should be out there insulting your landlord or anything, because I know some of them, they might just say some things that you can't take on a normal basis. But then instead of you to start trading words with them, the best thing for you to do is go and report them. And once there is a threat to life, it's very important that you go and report, because if something happens tomorrow, they ask you, did you report? Did you make a formal report anywhere? So I think that's the best thing for any lady to do. And then still talking about it, if you still have the financial capability to relocate, please try and do. Because most time you might not even be alive to tell the story.
But it's true.
Just like you said, somebody will come in the middle of the night knocking at your door.
For what?
And what if something happens? What if he has a spare key to that room and decides to open it and come in there and decides to do something to you? Nobody will know what happened. The only thing is that the next morning, she died in her sleep. All that. Nobody would know what actually happened. So if you can, to avert all this harassment, all this threat and everything, if you still have the money for you to look for a better place, a new place, you can do that. Forget about the money, because most times they will not even agree to settle you, to refund you or anything. Just forget about it, because your life is very, very important.
And there's something that came to my mind when you were saying this. Also, before you live in a place, make inquiry. Because now at the end of the day, we find out that this particular girl that has stories trending all over the social media, that the landlord is a drunkard and also a smoker. So once he finishes smoking, he will now come in there and be acting and be misbehaving. So sometimes ask questions before you move into any place, because it's very vital. There are a lot of things that are hidden that you might not even know. You might just be there. You don't know what happened. You don't know the person that left there. You don't know what happened. You don't know their story. So asking questions and making inquiries is very important. Because at the end of the day, you guys might have concluded on maybe let's talk about the price. Before you know it, just like Doc has already said, within how many this thing, they will start telling you about increments against what you guys agreed on. You get, because there are some people that have had that experiences over time. If you had asked the right question, people will not tell you, this person, he's a difficult person, you cannot deal. There are a lot of people that have left this place, see their experiences and all of that. But when you go in there clueless, you can actually meet anything. And by that time, it becomes too late for you.
I'm still talking about that, the right and everything, or you trying to know what to do. Sometimes before you pack into a new apartment, you are being given an agreement for you to sign. And most times, some people don't read through the agreement. Yeah. You just append your signature and that's it. Because tomorrow I've seen an issue where there was a particular thing that was written in that agreement, and that friend of mine didn't go through the agreement. She just scanned through it and did not see that particular clause. They in that clause they wrote that after 1 year that they are going to increase the rent of that place. And the increment, they didn't mention whether it was going to be 50%, 20%. It was actually 100% increment. And the guy was shouting, no, you don't have any right to do that. And at the end of the day, the man brought out the agreement. And that's to show that there are some clauses that might be in an agreement, not just about house rent. Anything you are signing, you have to read through. Even if you don't understand, maybe take it to a legal practitioner to help you interpret it for you. Because most times there are something hidden there. They will not tell you until when they will want to act on it. You see them coming out and bringing it out, and then you will be powerless. You won't have anything.
So what you said is making more sense. So when I was going through, I was able to make some findings that there is something we call tenancy agreement. First of all, if you're going into a house, there are some people that might not even provide any of these things you said. You will just move it. Most people, especially in the eastern part of
my own, I signed though. I even had to come to a particular place to sign the agreement. Ask me to go home with it, read that and do everything before you sign.
So that doesn't mean that there is room for negotiation. If there's something, a clause you see and you don't like.
You don't like, yes, you talk with the landlord. If it doesn't favor you, you leave the apartment and look for another one.
What about people that don't issue those agreements?
That one is a different note.
They don't give you any agreements.
Those kind of people.
Yeah, you ask for
who as a
most
tenant
landlord don't provide that agreement.
So you can
or you can just have a paper, you write it down.
If they don't have, maybe you have to consult a lawyer that will write it, and both of you will sign it. Because here now, I think it's quite important.
So what about this issue about eviction from the house? Sometimes this landlord, they might not even give you a pre-notice on that. Before you know it, maybe if you offend them or you do something, or probably they see somebody else that wants to pay them bigger money, they will just want to give you that quick notice. So in that scenario, what will you do? Does it mean that because the one I normally see is 3 months notice? I don't know whether it's 3 months, or does it have any established notice among all the
clients? From what I've heard, I think there is this particular female lawyer I follow online. She made mention of the fact that when a landlord gives you quick notice, that he's supposed to give you 6 months, 3 months notice before then. Period, But she now said something. She said once your rent has expired, that your landlord shouldn't give you anything. In fact, he has a right to evict you from a property immediately. Yes. Once your rent, it means that that property is no longer yours because your rent has expired. So at that point, your landlord then were he's not under obligation to say I'm giving you 1 month notice or 3 months notice. He can evict you immediately. Higher 7 days.
Okay, so also landlords. Please, if you're a landlord, listen very carefully. Because there are so many tenants that have been complaining. One complains to me that, okay, now in the place that he lives, before you know it, every time they're always bringing electricity bill. After paying that electricity bill, it's like it's increasing, like he doesn't get. And I don't know how they do it, because there is something we call this in tenants meeting, with the landlord, maybe at the end of the month. If there's something that needed to be repaired, probably they're making contributions, money and all of that. And also, the landlords, you also know that they have their own obligation as landlords. Sometimes when you're telling them about some of the property that is not okay, it is their right to maintain their property, to make it habitable for their tenants. But some of them, they won't even care. they won't even care because you're the one living there. They don't even care. Some of them, they will tell you that they will do it, but they will not do it. And you cannot do anything about it. Don't we as tenants have rights to do something about it? And at the end of the day, they will still expect you to pay them in full at the end of when you want to.
You know the problem we have it. You are going to report them to maybe going to court to sue them and all that litigation, the process and everything. In this part of the world, it might take ages, and you keep spending money. So that's why some people they shy away from all this. They don't want trouble. They just want to okay, let me just do it. I don't want wahala. Let me just go. You get the point. So most times it's just because we don't have the time, or we feel that maybe the landlord, just like the person that told the lady that with 500,000 I will just make you disappear.
Exactly.
So that's to tell you that with more than 500,000 you can just go to court, bribe them, and then they will, once you come for a particular hearing, you start hearing another thing altogether. You get. So that's why some people feel like, let's just settle it out of court. I don't want problem. I don't want wahala from anybody. You get.
What Tina just said now, it's actually happening to me. Our landlord just a bad experience. We renewed the rent, our house rent, but then the house is an old house. So the windows, the door, everything is just depreciating, and he said we must renovate the windows, the door, like everything. So we are now asking ourselves, are we supposed to do the renovation, or we are supposed to talk, then maybe take part from the rent, renovate the areas that are bad, then we pay him the remaining one? But now we've given him the money and he wants us to do the renovation by ourselves. And imagine, it's crazy. And we just kept asking ourselves, we don't even know what to do because we don't even know where to go to.
What was the conclusion when you told the landlord?
The landlord, okay, well,
the people asked him straight up, if we do the repairs, are you going to deduct it from our salary?
It said it does not have anything to do with our rent. We have to pay him in full, but we must, if we want to continue staying in the house, we must renovate the windows, the doors. And we right now, house rent is very cost. So going to get a new house, agent fee and all, it's too much. So we paid him, and now we are not cracking our heads trying to contribute to renovate and he told us exactly what we should do on the windows, the kind of net he wants.
Okay, it's not the case of what you said.
And
when you have a cheap place, a cheaper place.
Exactly.
We give the landlord the new page to.
That is the problem we are facing right now.
I blame you guys a little bit when it comes to this, because now I know the landlord told you that before you paid him the rent that you are going to renovate, right?
Yeah. Oh, they even told you guys.
Okay. So you guys knew that he wasn't going to do anything. So the best thing you people would have done is maybe to look for somebody to report the case to before you pay him that rent, because you know that paying that rent,
once you paid, you've paid.
And the man is now giving you an ultimatum that you are still going to repair. Like, he's giving you specifications on the kind of windows, on the kind of nets that he needs in his own house. And you have how long do you have to stay there before you leave?
It's 1 year now.
But so how many months is left for you now?
They've paid for 1 year.
Okay.
And the funny part of it is we don't have light. NEPA cut the light. And he said that we must also fit that light. It's crazy, but
well, you guys would have reported him to the appropriate authority before paying that rent.
Before paying.
So that you guys will sign an agreement. If we are renovating, that means we are collecting it from this rent. If the rent is 100,000 and you want to renovate, and the cost of the renovation is like 50,000, you're going to pay him 50,000 and use the other one and renovate the house. Or better still, don't renovate. Let's manage it. Once I'm out of here, you can renovate it if you want to renovate it. After all, I saw it like that and I came and paid. So you don't give me an ultimatum telling me that as a tenant I should repair your house. As a landlord, your own house, not mine. And when I leave, another group of people will come and you increase the house by telling them that you renovated the place.
Are you guys females? living in that place.
Yes,
No
exactly.
wonder.
That's
what we are talking about.
This is the problem that we have.
But you guys did not really do well. On a serious note, you allow somebody to travel on your rights.
But it's just that here in this part of the world, most
Except it's
tenants do not
it's
know their
ignorance.
rights. And because
Yeah.
we are scared of being evicted, we don't even say anything. And you know that
And
this
you
is
accept.
wrong, but you won't say anything. Perhaps you never even see the house where you go move.
You know why I'm angry here? It's not just one person. It's not just only you. You guys are up to 5 in number.
Oh, don't
Like, we can face that
Only
landlord.
girls.
Yes, it's only female.
That's why.
That's why exactly. And the condition he gave was, if we don't renovate the house, it's going to evict us. So we are like, well, we're going
We
to.
renovated the house.
We have not done that yet. We are still trying to put money
I want you to have the money now.
Paid.
I've already paid you. Now you are mandating me to go and renovate your house.
Your own house.
If I don't do, then you are going to evict me. I will not pay the house rent. Why you evict me now? Is it not better for me to go with my money?
Wait, did he tell you put this thing before you
said
pay
it,
the rent?
Yeah, he said it.
Are you
And he gave us time.
Maybe and we are thinking he will change his mind.
I don't get it. Confused.
After you finish calling your elders in the church for the man.
No,
This is a case. We paid in the money and he gave us
to call other
the
elders
time he
to
gave to
intervene.
us. It was not possible for us to go and get a new apartment. So we are like, okay, since we don't even know what to do, where to go to, it's better we pay him than look for a way to fix the windows and the door.
It was an agreement, you know. They agreed.
But on a normal basis, it was supposed to be the one to renovate those things.
Yes, like you have said from the onset before you made that deposit. Hey.
I don't
Nah,
get it.
when I don't try you. Kind of, maybe it's because of ignorance. Like we said.